hope I don't have to close that window. I can't see. Dang, how is this phone already talking about free up some space? Oh, probably should cut the TV down. Okay, I can't see who's here. It's saying people are here. I can't see y'all. So y'all gonna have to say something for me to be able to see you. And today is a free day. We're not doing no lessons. We're just gonna do some card readings um today. That's it and that's all. It's Friday, so we can just do whatever. Today is just the day you can ask questions. You what is that noise? Okay, we having problems again. I don't know if it's just this phone because this iPhone will be searching, like the iPhone will be buffering, but the other phone is not buffering. And I can't tell if we're buffering or not, but I'm looking at the TV and the TV is not buffering, so it shouldn't be buffering. Um, hey Moss Mama, this phone is way behind. Hey Ebony, hey Moss Mama. So, hey Tina. Yeah, this phone is behind. So, if you guys have any questions today, questions about what we talked about yesterday, or you just have some in general questions that you may have wanted to ask and you just kind of felt like we weren't going in that direction, and y'all know how I get when I tell people kind of like let's stay on task instead of asking like out of the way questions when we're talking about one thing. Okay, so today is the day that you can ask any question. I don't care what it is. um and if I have an answer for you, I'll answer it. Um, if it's something that I feel is not appropriate, then of course I won't answer that. But yeah, if it's something that you have a question about, today is a good day to do that because I don't really have anything per se planned. I just wanted today to kind of, you know, be a fun day. If you want to talk about something that you actually, I do want to talk about one thing. Um, my granddaughter is a Nicki Minaj fan, a real Nicki Minaj fan. And I'm at that age where the none of these rappers or they just don't impress me. I'm just not impressed with anything. So I guess Nicki Minaj went on live yesterday. I don't know if she doesn't realize how many kids love her and follow her. Okay, just give me my nerve. Don't cut my whole head off. Um, that's better. How many kids follow her? How many kids, you know, small kids? Dang, my fingernail file is in that box. How many young kids follow her? And so I guess somebody must have said something in her live about her always sniffling. And, she said that she wasn't, of course, doing anything illegal. but she likes to sniff rubbing alcohol. And while she was pregnant or after her pregnancy or something, she started sniffing bleach. Now I know that some people, have tendencies to either eat things that are not healthy, like clay and dirt, overabundance of ice. When some women are pregnant, they just have these cravings, and some to eat things that, or you wouldn't naturally eat or whatever. Or you could have, what is it called, pica, where, you want to eat things that, are normally not eaten. I don't want to say cornstarch because it's so many people out here eating corn. I didn't know that was a whole thing until recently. Like, it's a whole bunch of people out here eating cornstarch. So I didn't want to mention that. But for her to be in the position that she's in, and I know that a lot of these rappers are like, I don't want to be no role model. I don't want to influence. You gotta take care of your own kid. Yes, we do understand that. But when you put things out there, and I don't know how many people were in her life, but I know it was thousands of people in her life. I just think that's that shouldn't have been said. Like, that's something that you say around your adult friends or around your inner circle or whatever. She just like she went on to say, I have really bad allergies. So, I take allergy medicine. I tell you guys all the time when I come on here sniffling, it's because I have allergies. I have really, really bad allergies. And where we live is very windy. And so, there's a lot of pollen. The next door neighbor got damn near a whole palm tree in his backyard and all kind of stuff over there. And then we have a whole like L-shaped thing full of roses. Like the whole backside, and this because like our backyard kind of whatever, I can't explain it, but full of roses, beautiful roses, okay. And I cannot help but go outside and be near them. And it was Mother's Day. Everybody in the house got flowers. Not everybody, it's only two women in this house, but we both got flowers for Mother's Day. So, you know, like my nose be running and stuff too. And I just feel like she should have just said, I have allergies, and just left it at that. The whole sniffing alcohol and sniffing bleach, like she could have left that whole part out of the conversation, because I have to call my granddaughter and have a conversation with her and let her know that sniffing rubbing alcohol and sniffing bleach is not normal, and it is not something that you should try just because the queen is doing it. And then she had on like she, had played this video where she's getting out of her, looks like an Escalade. I don't know what it is, but it looked like a big Escalade. She's getting out her Escalade, and she got on two different color Crocs. She had on like a pink Croc and a turquoise Croc. I said, okay, Crocs finna sell out. My granddaughter bet not call. If you watching, you bet not call me and ask for no Crocs. Because when I was trying to buy you Crocs, and come on, girl, let's go to the Croc outlet. You ain't want no parts of Crocs, so girl, you better not call me talking about no Crocs. But now I have to call her and have a conversation around sniffing glue, not glue. Oh Lord, ooh, thank God she didn't say glue. sniffing alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and sniffing bleach. Because that's just something you don't want your children to do. I don't care who doing it. And you can't, as parents, we can't stop our kids from looking up to celebrities, rappers, especially black female rappers. Yes, they're going to look up to them. We can't, we can't stop that. Just like my generation, my parent, my mama could stop me from, looking up to certain celebrities. I don't even know who was a celebrity back then, child. But I was a little church girl, so I wasn't heavily into secular music like that. Um, so we just have to be careful. We have to be careful with our dang, I closed that the blinds and I can't see who that is. We have to be careful with our children and let them know that sniffing household products is not a good idea. It's just not something that you want your children to be doing. So I don't know. That was just one thing that I saw um that I just didn't like. It just threw up a very serious red flag for me. And I'm not really sure if her mother but as a grandmother, we take things a little bit more serious, I think, sometimes than even the parent. Because the parent is in the same age group as Nicki Minaj, and she may not see nothing wrong with that. Where I would look at that and be like, no, I don't even want nobody saying no crazy stuff like that. And my granddaughter listening to it and thinking because the queen did it, it's okay. Because it's not. It's just not okay. Now, if she just, and leave it alone, then I'm pretty. It's probably not doing her any harm. But a younger child doesn't know when to stop. Do I, or do I? Where does it stop? Can you do me a favor? I was gonna say, can you close that bathroom door? Because that light shining in is getting on my nerve. But don't bump into my table, though.
Don't bump into the
Don't
studio.
bump into the studio.
Gotcha.
Just close the door so that that light don't be shining. And don't go up in there making a whole lot of noise either. Boy, I swear to God, I'm gonna hurt you. Oh, you make me, and I know you doing that on purpose. You make me so sick, like you really do right now. So I just, just be careful, like who your kids are watching, what type of stuff they're ingesting, because that could turn into something serious. Like we could have a whole bunch of kids out here now sniffing alcohol and um bleach because the queen doing it, and they want to be like the queen. Next we'll have kids on TikTok because they put everything on TikTok. If you want to see it being done, all you got to do is go to TikTok. Alafia, go to TikTok. Once it get popular, it's gonna pop up on TikTok. Oh, who is that talking about they addicted to cornstarch? What is it with the whole cornstarch thing? Because cornstarch has no flavor, right? Or what does it taste like? It looked like to me it would taste like chalk. Does it have a flavor? I mean, are you putting hot sauce on it? Tagine? What? You just eat it plain? because it just looks like chalk. It looks like it would have no flavor whatsoever. So I want to know. It's a subtle taste. Okay, subtle. Compare it to something. What does it taste like? Flour, because that's what it look like. It would taste like. What you about to eat?
I don't know, probably some cereal. I don't know.
Uh,
Or what I had yesterday,
what was
last night.
that?
That casserole thing.
Oh, that chicken stuff. I'm in the Bay Area.
Okay, sit down, sit down. Chill out, chill out.
So I mean, I don't know. Just we just have to be careful, you know, and be watching what our kids are looking at, because she's 12 and she had this is how I knew that she liked Nicki Minaj because she had, we had already had a conversation. And last night, I know she saw this live because last night she texted me and told me that she had been waiting for the Queen to go live for 30 minutes. And I said, so you sat there the whole time waiting for and she was like, yeah, it was other people there too. So I know she saw it. That's the part that bothers me. In kids, when they see things because it came from someone that they admire, they just assume that it's okay. They wouldn't think, oh, well, or let me go in the bathroom and smell this bleach and see what the Queen will smell. I don't know, y'all. I really don't. I really do not. Oh yeah, y'all. Moth Mama has a channel where she be giving y'all some tips and tricks and all kind of stuff. So y'all go over there if you're not already subscribed to her. Moth Mama, put the name of your channel in the comments so people will know. I don't know what it is. I have it saved, but I can't tell you what the name. I mean, I'm subscribed to you. So put your channel name in the comments so people will know. So, y'all go over there and subscribe to her channel too. It's really interesting. Okay? Girl, you not uploading? Well, y'all go over there and watch her older videos then. Oh, Monica, my mama used to be addicted to that little Vicks inhaler thing. to, to the point where her doctor told her to stop doing that. You're addicted to that. Like she wasn't, I don't think she was just doing it because her nose was stopped up. I think she was just doing it because she was addicted to it. And she would like go and purchase, she had them things in almost every one of her purses, so if she changed purse, she wouldn't forget that little thing. Now I know we have all had strange addictions. I used to be addicted to Altoids. And this was weird, but I didn't chew it. I would sit it on my tongue and just like let it dissolve to the point where I had developed a sore spot on my tongue. And I went to the doctor, and my doctor looked at it and he was like what could be causing this? I was like, well, can Altoids cause it? And he was like, "What do you mean?" Was like, "Well, I'm like kind of addicted to Altoids, and I just like sit it there, like just pop one after another one. Like when that one dissolved, put another one in my mouth." And I have been doing this for a while. And when I say addicted, I mean I would get out the bed at 2 o'clock in the morning and run to 7-Eleven, which wasn't too far from my house. Like if I would wake up and something in my brain would click and I would need that Altoid and I opened that can and there was nothing in there, I would get out of my bed and just put on a hoodie and some shoes and I would drive to 7-Eleven, give me some Altoids, come back home. So I told the doctor what was going on, and he was like, "Yes, that peppermint oil is literally burning a hole in your tongue. So, how much longer are you going to do this?" He was like, "Stop doing it today and allow your tongue to heal." I mean, my tongue had got sore to the point where I was drinking was painful and I was starting to have a problem. Now, you know when something go wrong with your tongue and you start to have a problem eating, you gonna go figure out what it is because I had not related the two things to each other. Like, how can an Altoid hurt my mouth? I got off the Altoids. I quit cold turkey. It literally drove me crazy. It was like coming down off of a drug. It was horrible. I don't know what in my brain that Altoid had triggered, but it made me feel like, okay, this is how people feel when they're coming off of a drug. I know that a drug is more, it would be more severe, but like it was crazy. It's crazy the things that we can really get addicted to. And after that, I just, really stopped. Like, I haven't had Altoid since that day because that was my tongue. That was one of the worst. I don't see how people can get their tongue pierced because the way my tongue was burning just from um, eating the Altoid was enough for me to just be like, nah, I'm cool. And I don't know. They just didn't have the same taste after I realized, like, you about to take my tongue out. I gave them up. I definitely, yeah, Altoids are super strong. And I was going through, the little cans, probably in 2 days. I was going through a can of Altoids in probably 2 days. That's how many of them I was popping. And I think part of it was because I was in a very stressful job at the time. My job was extremely stressful. Um and my kids were stressing me out. And for, whatever reason, that was a stress reliever for me because I had stopped drinking purposely because of all of the stress that I was going through. Like alcohol was the last thing that I wanted to add to that. So I had stopped drinking. So the only thing that, I really had was junk food and Altoids. And at the time, I was really not, I think I must have been in my 30s. I wasn't, you know, I wasn't really trying to gain no weight. So I was popping them Altoids like a crazy person. Seriously, I would be at work stressed the hell out and popping Altoids like crazy because my job, for one, my job was extremely stressful dealing with children who um, were in the group home. And then it was my job. I was one of the after hours counselors for placement. Like the police will call and say, we have a 10-year-old child, we have a 10-year-old male who has just been removed from his home. We need to find some place for the child to go. So I had a list of emergency providers. I would have to go through that list and call, you know, until someone said, yeah, I'll take that child. And it was so stressful to me. Like, thinking about a child that is either sitting in the back of a police car or sitting in the back of a car with a social worker, not knowing where they're going to go. They've been removed from their parent. I would be on edge until I found that child somewhere to go. Like, that was really stressful for me. um thank goodness I only did that part of my job like on the weekends usually. But I mean, it was stressful, to the police call. And then sometimes the police wouldn't be patient. Like, I would really prefer when the social workers would call, because the police, like, they would be like, oh, you ain't found nobody yet? Like, hold on, bruh. This is the weekend. Some providers are not taking kids, or their house is already full, or they just don't want to take no kids on the weekend or whatever, because just because they were an emergency placement, they didn't have to take every child that came into their homes. And some providers, they had a checklist that they would want to go through. Where's the child coming from? Do you know if the kid has lice, or a lot of stuff? Then I would have to call them back and ask, is this going on, this going on, this going on? Because then a provider knows how to, get their house ready for the child. Is the child gonna have to be quarantined in a room if they have lice? Am I gonna have to wash their hair tonight? You know, all of this kind of stuff. So yeah, it was very stressful. So I would be on that phone popping Altoids, and because I didn't drink coffee or nothing back then. Like, so Altoids was my thing. Yeah, they were called. Well, some of them were just emergency foster care providers. Some of them were foster parents already. They had their foster care license. They were foster care providers, but they may have had one bed available for an emergency child, for an emergency placement. So some of them were already foster care providers. Some of them were group homes. If you get a kid that's already a runaway from a group home, sometimes the group home, you can call them and they would be like, nah, we don't want them back, because they're going to just keep running. They wouldn't want the child back. So then you call another group home until you can find a placement. So there were, different types of placements for children during, emergency type situations. And then I was working at a facility. So if we had a bed, and we had in it was a girl between the our age group, and she hadn't ran away from our facility, or she hadn't tore up our facility, then she could come there. So then I had to go make sure the bed was made up, get her toiletries, meet with the police and the social worker, or whoever was going to drop the child off. Sometimes it was the police and the social worker. Sometimes it was just the police officer. And then, it was procedures that I had to go through. If they were coming in with a bag, I had to check their bag, check their pockets, check their clothes, because, you can't come in with no contraband, you can't come in with any weapons, and, all that kind of stuff. And then kids, especially teenagers, they come in, they got an attitude. They done already been through this, or the police done picked them up off the street. And then we got to go through all this rigmarole. And I got to let them know that you're not going to be coming up in here acting no fool. Because, if it's late at night, my girls are already asleep. I already have them in the bed. I don't need you coming in disrupting the house. Ugh. Then, the kid may be hungry. You got to fix them something to eat. You got to get them some pajamas because they may be coming with absolutely nothing. You want them to get in the shower, take a shower, put these pajamas on. It's late. Go to bed. We'll deal with the rest in the morning. So it was stressful. It was a lot. So that was my addiction. So, everybody got something. A lot of people that I work with, they drank coffee all night. I didn't drink coffee, so that wasn't my thing. And the crazy thing is, I didn't start smoking cigarettes until I started working at that facility because everybody would be on break. They would be outside smoking, and I was just like, "Girl, give me one of them, give me one of them cigarettes." You just get to a point where you be like, "God, give me one too." Shit, these kids is crazy. They weren't crazy. They just was going through a lot. I felt um I felt bad. I really, really um felt sorry for them. Yeah, foster care is rough. Group homes um is rough. It is really rough. And I went through a situation where my one of my son's friends came through the group home. As a matter of fact, her grandmother was my kid's daycare provider. So I had been knowing this young lady since she was about 7 or 8 years old because her and my son were the same age. And when he used to go to the daycare, no, younger than that. And I guess when she turned, I think she had to be either 15 or 16 years old, the police found her on the street. Um, what girls do on the street. And I guess they called her grandmother, and her grandmother was like, "You can't come back here." Because I guess she had been having problems with her and that in and out. And, I think she was doing other things too, but it was just too much for her. And she ended up at my facility. I brought her in and I did not recognize her name. I didn't recognize her name when I brought her in. And when the police rang the doorbell and I opened the door and saw her, I literally I was like, and she just fell right into my arms. She just fell into my arms. And I just really could not believe, and the police officer is looking at me like, "You know her? And is she your family?" And I was like, you know, uh, that came in, and I kind of told them that I knew her family. I knew her grandmother very well. And so he told me that he had talked to her grandmother, and her grandmother was like, "She can't come back here. She's disruptive to the family. Her grandmother was scared of the men that, she had got hooked up with." And her grandmother was getting older, and she had, her sister and I think her brother at the house, and it was just too much for her, and I couldn't blame her grandmother. I really couldn't, because she didn't have nobody else to help her. And so, yeah, she ended up um, staying in the group home until I guess one of the men that she was working for um, seduced her out. And that's what a lot of, the problem for a lot of the girls are. They get with these guys and, they promise them the world, and these girls fall for it, and they end up getting hurt. And that's what happened to her. Have you ever had a job in healthcare? I have. I used to be a um, medical assistant. So I used to work for a doctor in Oakland, um, right across the street. Well, Peel Hill. If you know anything about Oakland, you'll know Peel Hill. That was one of the right across the street from Summit Hospital. That I don't want to say the area is famous, but there are a lot of, well, they have the hospital, they have that medical building and nursing homes and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, I used to be a medical assistant. So I used to take the blood pressure, triage patients before they see the doctor. So I've done a few things. That was how I ended up getting that job at the group home. Was their nurse was she retiring? I think it was retiring. And so they hired me because I was certified. I could, give out medication, all of that kind of stuff, and take the kids to doctor's appointments. I ended up not liking that. I just didn't want to spend my day going from appointment to appointment to appointment because I was taking them to their psych appointments, to, their doctor's appointments. And unfortunately, I've had to take a couple of girls to get abortions. And that was very hard for me, very hard with, me being an empath, and it was just too difficult. So I stopped doing that and became a counselor instead. So then, the counselor didn't really have to take the kids to doctor's appointments unless it was an emergency and it was after hours and the nurse had already went home. So yeah, I don't. What year did I graduate? In 97. No, that's not right. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I graduated in 97 because the base closed in 96 and the program, or 98, because the program was 18 months, I think. I think the program was 18 months. So I graduated somewhere around there, somewhere in that period of time. I graduated. And what happened was after I did my internship for my own doctor, the my regular primary care. He was my regular primary care physician. I told him that I was looking for somewhere to do an internship. So he let me do my internship there. And then after my internship was over, he was like, why don't you just stay? Because his wife, was doing a lot of those things in the office for him, and she got sick. And so he hired me, and that's that story. Tell it like it is. I think I was in middle school then. Well, sweetheart, I graduated from high school in 82. So yeah, I graduated from high school. I went to college. I went to trade. No, I went to college. Then I went to trade school where I took the civil service exam, and then I started working at Naval Air Station Alameda. And when who was president then? I don't know. Whoever was president at the time decided to shut down a lot of the military bases, and our base was one of the bases that was hit. The base was closed. So, in that closing, you could either transfer to another facility or they would pay for you to go to school and get another trade, like pay for the whole thing. It wasn't a loan. So they paid for me to go to school, books, uniform, uniforms, everything, plus your unemployment, plus a severance package. So yeah, I took advantage of that, and then I went to school. Then I was a medical assistant, and then I went to the group home. So yeah, I've done a few things. What? My mama said there's a whole Reddit about addiction to. Are you serious? I am definitely gonna have to look that up. I'm definitely gonna have to look that up. She said, "Is it like when you eat hot food and burn your taste buds?" I don't think so because they can't. When you burn your taste buds from eating hot food, they don't come back, do they? I don't know. I don't know. Whatever it was, though, it took it took a while for it to heal. Like it was really sore. It was sore, and it took a while for it to heal. Because when you burn your tongue from eating hot food, that heals in a couple of hours, right? Or like the next day or something. This took a while. This took like probably about 2 weeks for it to start back to feeling normal. Because I didn't go to the doctor like when this first started. Like if I had caught it when it first started to feel tender, it probably wouldn't have got that bad. But I didn't. I was just ignoring it for a while because I was addicted and I didn't want it to be the Altoids. Like people who are addicted to crack. They don't want it to be the crack that's causing them problems. They want it to be everything else but that. So, I mean, I'm glad I got off of those because yeah, that wasn't any good. Oh, tell it like it is. You got a poll in your room? I be seeing all kind of people with polls in their rooms, and they don't secure them correctly. And like, do people be doing that because they think that's funny, or they think they're gonna get a whole lot of views or whatever? 'Cause they don't secure the. I bet you my husband in there sleep. Cause I ain't heard no microwave or nothing. He in there sleep. Um, they don't secure the pole and the thing just fall. I don't know, child. Okay, y'all reading or not? Cause I'm just talking. Um, now I don't know if we're gonna go to what's the matter with you? You okay? All right. I don't know if we're going to Sacramento or not tomorrow because we didn't hear from the realtor. So I'm not I'm really not sure what we're gonna do. I don't know if we're gonna go back. But did I tell you guys we got pre-approved? So we like that close. Oh, I cannot wait. Do you hear me? Lord, when they give us the keys to this house, I just don't know how I'm going to act. I really don't. I can picture myself fainting, and I'm gonna try not to, but I can already, or going into a serious Church of God in Christ shout. I have already seen it. I've already envisioned them handing the keys to my husband, and the Holy Ghost just hit me, and I go into a full on Church of God in Christ shout and just embarrass my husband to death, because he's gonna be like, "Oh my God, you did not shout in front of these people." Yeah, I did. I can already see myself doing that. And you know I'm dramatic anyway. So I'm either going to faint when they hand him the keys. I'm gonna tell him though in advance. Okay, don't I'm going to sit down for this whole process. Like when they hand you the keys, don't expect me to get up. Cause if I get up, I'm a faint. And I don't want to faint in front of the whoever, the lender or the mortgage people, the, realtor. I don't want to faint in front of the realtor. But I will go into a full blown Holy Ghost shout, like snatch my wig off and, run, all that. I'll do that. I sure will. Just catch the whole Holy Ghost. I can see myself already doing it because I already saw it. When I see stuff like that in a vision, it's gonna happen. Catch the whole Holy Ghost. Do you hear me? Oh, we don't know how big it's gonna be yet, but we want a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. That's what we want. That's what we're looking at. But it could be a 4 bedroom. Like, who knows? But we want a 3 bedroom. 3 bedroom, 2 bath, and a nice backyard. That's basically all we want. We're not. Oh, it's gotta have a walk-in closet, and it's gotta have a pantry that's walk-in with IKEA shelving. No, we're not doing all that. We just want to move. So we're looking. We are looking. I mean, like, we're much um closer now that we've gotten pre-approved. We're just like almost there. Almost there. And I'm just so grateful that we didn't give up, because it was a few times when I was just like, I I quit. I can't do what we're doing right now. I mean, we're in a beautiful house right now, but this ain't our beautiful house. This is somebody else's beautiful house. So, um, oh, I'm not sure. If it's a foreclosure, we'll take that too if we can. I mean, we're looking at homes that our realtor is um sending us. We have a realtor now. So who knows what it's gonna be? Oh, you purchase a foreclosure? Did you have to like fix a whole lot of stuff? Cause see, we don't want to do that. We want everything. We want to just be able to move in, because my husband ain't the fixer upper type of person, and I'm not either. I just want to go in, pick out my curtains, and painting is about as much as we really want to do. Like, and not even painting the whole house. We just want to maybe paint an accent wall or something like that, um not the whole house. We just we want everything to be right when we go in. So we don't want a fixer upper. I'm not really sure about foreclosed homes, what the because some of the foreclosures that I've seen, like on YouTube and stuff, the the previous owner knew that the house was going into foreclosure, and they like trashed the place, and then you got to come in and clean all that up. No, I don't want to do that. I ain't gonna lie. That ain't my ministry. So, um yeah, see, I don't want to fix nothing. I don't really want us to have to go in and, like, I don't mind buying appliances, stuff like that, but fixing, no, I don't want to do that. Not for our first home. I don't want it to. Um, I just want to move in and be comfortable. So I don't know. I don't think my husband. I don't think we've even looked at any places that were foreclosure. Because one of the places that we really, really liked was an auction. And um the realtor was like, yeah, don't, we're not even gonna waste our time on that, because these homes that go up for auction, you know, y- people come in and they will bid maybe $100,000 over the asking price, and that just knocks out just, normal people in cash. So we don't have 300,000. If I had just had $300,000 just sitting in my bank account, waiting to, for me to make a move on it, I wouldn't be on here. I would be somewhere with my feet kicked up next to a pool or something. You know what I mean? Like, your average person does not have $300,000 in cash, in cash, that they can go and get and just bam. Oh, the house is 250,000. I give you 350,000 in cash. Everybody ain't able. So yeah, the auctions are, yeah, the investors, they buy up those places, and then, you know fix them up and sell them, buy it for $350,000, fix it up real nice, and you could sell it for 500 or $400,000, especially here in the Bay Area. Here, you're in the part of the Bay Area that I live in, homes are super expensive. Like, you're not going to find a house in a decent neighborhood under 600,000. You just not. You'll find a house, but it's probably not going to be, like where you want to live. And even in some of the bad neighborhoods in Oakland, the homes are 500,000, a million. Where we moved from in East Oakland, the house on the corner from us, and this ain't the worst neighborhood, but this is not an upscale neighborhood. This is a neighborhood that had a corner liquor store. You know what I mean? It was quiet, but it still had like a corner liquor store. Um, the house went for $1 million after they remodeled. I mean, it was gorgeous. They they remodeled they gutted that house and um built a beautiful deck in the, oh, so nice. But $1 million in the hood? Because, technically it was the hood. If you know anything about East Oakland, 35th and MacArthur. Off of 35th and MacArthur, 35th and Brookdale. The house is right there on the corner of Brookdale and Bartlett. It went for $1 million. So yeah, stuff is getting expensive. Yeah, I do. We really do. We really do deserve this. Everybody deserves to live in a home where, they're happy and secure. Um, but my husband is a veteran. He deserves this. He fought for our country. Like, and he was in infantry, and he wasn't just like in the military, cooking. Or not that there's anything wrong with the military chefs and stuff, but like he was in the trenches, like sleeping and outside in dirt and mud and just, he could tell his own story one day. I do want to get him on here and let him talk about what it was like being in Germany and, sleeping outside and wiping his butt with leaves and stuff. See, I can't do all that. The military it wasn't for me. But let me tell y'all this story. And some of y'all probably already heard this. When I was in high school, I was in ROTC. And every year, the schools would go to Fort Ord, so you get a real, um, you get the real experience of what it's like to, be in the military. So the trip is a week long. And where's Fort Ord? In Monterey or close to Monterey? So it's like a couple of hours, like maybe three hours away from um Oakland. So I was excited. Me and all my friends, we were so excited to, be going somewhere, going on this, it's a week long field trip basically. So we had to wear our dress uniforms down there because when we got to Fort Ord, we was gonna have to be in formation and all of that kind of stuff. So, honey, we get to Fort Ord and that army, I don't know, sergeant, yeah, he was a drill sergeant. That drill sergeant, when we got off that bus, even though the our teacher was a retired army colonel, that drill sergeant took control of us kids and treated us like we were real army cadets or whatever it's called when y'all first get there. So, he was like screaming. All the girls was looking like, do he know we girls? We was looking all crazy and stuff. And so they like, we had to get in formation and we had to like march to the barracks and like, get our bags and march to barracks like, real army people. We get to the barracks. We had to make up our own beds. And here we are thinking, in my mind, I'm thinking we're going to Club Med or something. We're going on a field trip. I'm going to get some souvenirs. We're going to have some fun. And, we're going to be sitting around laughing. And no, make that bed up, do it. I mean, he was screaming at us and barking at us like, like a real drill sergeant. And, me and my friends were looking at each other like, do this man know we kids? We ain't little kids. God. I probably was like 14, or I went into kindergarten mode. I started crying. Like I wasn't the only one crying. Like we were so upset. And our Colonel Clark, I never will forget his name. Colonel Clark was, trying to calm us down because he had always been so nice to us. He never screamed at us. He never, he didn't even play that. Of course, we respected him, but he never played that role of the drill sergeant. So he was, trying to calm us down, but I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to do this. And I was like spoiled, like really spoiled. My mother really spoiled me. I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to do this. I'm going home. And it was like, no, just stay here. I was like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. My asthma. Can't stay here. I can't. Call my mama. I want to call my mama. I can't stay here. Honey, I got on that phone. I was boo-hooing. Do you hear me? I was boo-hooing. I was telling my mama these people screaming at us. He oh my God, they making us make up the beds, and the beds wasn't made up, and the beds is all stacked up on top of each other. It's dirty in here and stuff. Oh God, I put it on so thick. I put it on super thick. I was like, I can't breathe. It's dirty. I'm having an asthma attack. I need to go. I need to go home. My mom was like, let me speak to the teacher. So my mama got on the phone, honey, with the teacher, and they must have known that this was going to happen because one of the teachers drove up in her own car. Okay. They must have known. And I wasn't the only kid that was like, I ain't, she going home, I'm going home too. So she took us home. She had to take us home. She got on the phone. My mama was like, what in the hell is going on up there? What are y'all doing to them kids? Why is she crying like that? Like, what is going on? And the teacher was trying to explain to my mother, like, this is a military installation, and they're trying to prepare the kid. Okay, my mom was like, good. So what time y'all gonna be back in Oakland? Bring my child home. And it was just like a domino effect. Like all the girls just started freaking out. Now the boys, most of the boys was, okay. I don't think they liked it, but you know how boys are. They not gonna cry. I didn't care. At that point, I didn't care. I didn't care. Yeah, I'm crying. I sure am. I'm going home. I didn't even get a chance to unpack my bag. I was like, I'm not making up that bed. I'm not sleeping in there. That place, that's dirty. It all stank and stuff. Blanket with some old wool, itchy looking. I'm allergic to wool. I can't sleep like this. The old flat pillow look like 500 people that slept on it. No, I'm not staying here. Honey, I went home. I went home to my nice, warm, fluffy, clean, unattached to another bed. But I learned my lesson because I was really thinking like, oh yeah, I can go. Cause you know how they come and they tell you we'll pay for your college, you'll get to see the world and all of this, honey. After that experience with that drill sergeant, I was like, oh, I would never even look. I got out of ROTC after that. After that semester was over, I was like, oh no, I'll join dance. I didn't want to have nothing to do with them ROTC people ever again. Cause if this how you gonna be treating folks, oh hell no. I got up out of there. Girl, I would have did anything to go home. I don't care what it was. But I'm not sleeping in no bunk bed. I'm not making up no bunk bed. This man screaming and hollering at us and you know and I was, such a sweet kid. A quiet, like I wasn't one of those kids that you needed to scream at. So it just went bad. As soon as we got off the bus, it was bad. So when he took us into the barracks, it just got worse when I got in there. It just looked like somebody had just went in there and just the beds were empty. They were unmade. The sheets and blankets and stuff were folded up on top of these dusty ass mattresses. I don't know if that part of the barracks stayed empty until they had the kids come in, or don't care. But that's what it looked like. And no, I'm not sleeping. No, I'm not sleeping like that. I'm not sleeping on no. I ain't never slept in no bunk bed. I'm not doing it tonight. Uh-uh. So that didn't happen. They had to take me home. And then, of course, when I get home, my mom was like, "I told you you shouldn't have went over there. You going over there with them army people. I told you that with your little scary self. You know you scary." I don't care. I'm at home now. It didn't matter. She could have talked, and she probably did. She probably talked all the way home, and I didn't care. That was one time that my mama was right, and I didn't care. You can talk crazy as you want. I'm at home. So the army wasn't for me. And to know that, my husband went through all of that, and survived. He deserved a house. Cause honey, when my husband left, going into okay, so me and my husband went to the same church. So we've known each other forever. So I remember when he went into the military, what he looked like and everything. So when he left, he was not fat, but he had meat on his bones. And when he came back, that boy was so skinny that he looked like a totally different person. Plus, they had, cut all his hair off. I mean, he didn't have a whole lot of hair, but they had, he had that military haircut, real short on the sides and, short on the top. And he just looked totally different. He was so skinny. And I was like, they did you dirty like they was trying to do me. They sure did. They didn't get me though. They got him. My husband said all of that running and they wasn't eating like they normally do. Like, they wasn't allowing them to have like any junk food or anything like that. They had to eat at the mess hall. So he lost hella weight. He looked like a totally different person. And see, oh, that's him. When he I don't know how when he got back, he was so thin. But I thought he was oh, he didn't want me though. He didn't want me, y'all. He did not want me. He had done he had done he had done put his uniform on and he had done got the confidence of the world. And he didn't want that little girl from West Auckland. He didn't want no parts of me. None. So I was like, all right, man. Well, I went on and got married. He didn't have locks when we got back together, though. When we got back together in 2011, he didn't have locks. He got locks. I did his locks. I started his locks. So either way, you know, he had real short hair when we got back together. And so he grew his hair out. He liked my locks so much that he, was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it." And I was like, "Really?" I really didn't think that he was going to keep them this long, but he grew his hair out in like a couple of months, and I started his locks. So that's my work on his head. I did that. Child, he didn't cut them nails. If he hadn't cut them the first time, I'm pretty sure he would be sitting on his locks now. I think he's cut them twice. Yeah, I think he cut them twice because he don't like them real long. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of like him. I mean, I like him. Period. So if he does a number like I did one day and just decide that he don't want his locks anymore, I don't think it would matter. I mean, I am used to him with locks, but I don't think it would matter. Just like he do me. When I cut mine off, he was just like, all right, it's you with locks, short hair, whatever you want to do. Because, like I get up now and ain't no telling what I'm gonna look like. I got a wig for every day of the week if that's what I choose to do. Plus some. So that's us. I don't have anything else to say, y'all. I'm gonna get off here before he goes back. He probably in there sleep though. I'm gonna get off here before he goes back to work, and he either asleep or in there playing video games. I'm going to um go in there and see what he doing. I was going and I pulled the cards out and everything, but I'm just not really in that kind of mood today. I ain't in no card reading kind of mood. I joined and I said that I was not going to do this, but I joined another group on Facebook, and I joined this group because someone that I know is in this group, and I know that she's is a priest, a Santeria um priest, and I was thinking, oh, okay, well, it'll be more people in here, maybe that are more knowledgeable, more people that but no, it's a lot of people in there that don't know what they're doing, and you know asking some of the weirdest questions that I've seen in a while. So I think I'm gonna get out of there. Those groups, I don't know. Me and groups don't really get along, especially when it's that type of group. I'm really not. I don't know. So that's it. If we do anything interesting or we do go and look at a place tomorrow, I will try to, if it's a nice place, I don't know. I might try to film it. Or if we just go and hang out again in Sacramento, I will, I should have plugged this phone in. I will, try to get that on video because see, we are, going to Sacramento because we know we're going to be living in that area. So we are going to different places, driving around, seeing what different areas are like. So maybe we'll find a nice restaurant like we did the last time and have lunch or whatever and come on back here. So I will see you guys later. I love you. Thanks for sitting here with me for an hour and 14 minutes while we just talked about basically nothing. And I'll see you guys next week. I love you. Bye.